Ethiopia, as we speak, has a lot on its plate to deal with as a result of diverse issues from within. And the East African nation is now pinning its hopes on the national dialogue as part of the solution to the problems. Well, how should Ethiopians handle the issues in the process? Well, I'm joined by the Transformational Leadership Instructor at the Civil Service University, Dr. Wogari Negari. This is our weekly Addis dialogue. With it, I'm Shifara Olaiko. To stay with us. A very warm welcome to the program, and thank you indeed for taking the time to talk to us.
It's okay.
Some still question the importance, the necessity of this national dialogue after 4 years of transition. Why is this all-inclusive national dialogue important or needed now?
Okay, thank you very much. It is a natural process in human lives. It is a natural process. You know why? Dialogue starts with self, not only with others. It starts with self, and it expands itself to family members, community members, and the like. So this is a natural course of nations and nationalities living at different places in the world. Yeah. This is not very peculiar to Ethiopia. So it is relevant because learning from within can heal, right? Yeah. Learning from outside may not give sustainable healing. So this is, I can say, a fantastic strategy to look at oneself and come up with sustainable solution.
Still, others say Ethiopia has just dived into it by copying it and taking experience from other nations. And therefore, it is important to give this national dialogue Ethiopian touch. What is your take on that?
Right. Again, this issue is critical. It has to be raised when we undertake a certain dialogue. We have to understand the why of it. The why of it. It's obvious. A certain reality may not be accepted by 100% of communities. We may have the lion's share, we may have 50% or something like that. Yeah. That means that is enough. But we should not expect 100% support. Of course, this can emanate from lack of understanding what a dialogue is. A dialogue plays a pivotal role in the lives of Ethiopians and other nations and nationalities in the globe and elsewhere. So, we can learn from others. Yeah. We have to share experiences because this is a globalized world. In the globalized world, nothing is sacred, nothing is personal. It has to be shared. We all are meant for the globe, not only for Ethiopia, not for a village. We are meant to serve citizens of the globe. If the intention is this, looking at ourselves is number one, looking at our surrounding is number two, and looking at different countries out of the continent is the third one. This is globalizing idea. These days, ideas are being tripleized. We have to look at, this is a new philosophy, tripleization. This is a plus to globalization. It gives attention to individual context, local context, and a global context. That's why it is considered as tripleization. If you do so, you can give something which is meaningful. Yeah. Otherwise, it will be tilting to one side. That is why it is very important. So we can learn from others. By learning from other contexts, we have to make a part and a parcel of the Ethiopian soil. We have to Ethiopianize it. We have to Ethiopianize it. We have to understand this. We should not borrow something from elsewhere and plant it in Ethiopia. That's wrong. That's wrong. That is what the government is doing at present. We have learned from different countries who ran in the past this kind of dialogue. And at the same time, from within, there is a necessary condition to hold this dialogue, the context of the Ethiopian nations and the nationalities has necessitated this dialogue. So this dialogue is getting a color of Ethiopians. That's why it is being discussed at different levels in the country to come up with enriching inputs.
Let's also talk about the legal aspects of the national dialogue. What are some of the legal aspects that this national dialogue should incorporate, and also negotiation of a deal that would bring about lasting solutions to Ethiopia's problems?
In the country, there are legal organizations which are interested with dialogue, right? The organizations which are working on humanitarian issues should work on this issue, right? The Ethiopian courts, the police, and the ombudsman, and the like should work on this dialogue. You know why? To glean effective ideas for strong solidarity of the country, for strong unity of the country. And it is very important. It has to involve organizations with diverse experiences, including the ones I have mentioned. In one way or another, Ethiopian ministries, Ethiopian organizations should be a part of this process, because this is historic event in Ethiopian context. I can say it is first of its kind, because dialogue is not a debate. It is different from debate because it necessitates a listening. It involves learning. And it wants you to give your heart to others. It's not only a literal speech or a literal debate or a literal conversation. It is heart-to-heart conversation. Hearts come together. Unless hearts come together, it will be artificial type of dialogue.
Political parties are invited to be part of this national dialogue. Some have already distanced themselves from the process. There are also this contention of, as you know, the identity of the commissioners, as well as whether the process will bring about the desired results. So what are some of your observations in this regard?
Well, this is again a good idea. You have raised a good idea. Creating something may not be as easy as criticizing something, right? Creating is challenging. Critics is simple, right? We can simply talk. But if I am given something which is challenging for others, I may talk about something negative about it, but I may not do it, all right? Even I may not approach it. So, to my understanding, hero splitting is not good, hero splitting. If you try to split something which is unthinkable to be split, it cannot be operational, it cannot be doable. So people can criticize, but if the critics is to add value to what is going on, that is positive. That's positive. Because a certain attention can attract the attention of a certain thing or event can attract the attention of others. Those who think positively can add value, positive value. Those who are with negative mentality will not add an inch value to what is going on. So they can criticize, but we have to, rather than shying away from doing something, we have to try and see. The practice itself can teach us something, the practice itself. So people may criticize, but because this golden idea is criticized, we should not shy away from holding this historic dialogue. We should go ahead with it, because Through this dialogue, we are spanning new boundaries among nations and nationalities of the country. Mm-hmm. In a dialogue, we should not deal with the usual boundary. We should not deal with the existing mindset. If we do so, we achieve what we are achieving. But this one is a new thing. Rather, these people, those who criticize, should be a part of this process and add what can serve the Ethiopian nations and nationalities. This is a sort of healing for the country. Okay. I can say it is a remedy, right? Some people may die before their real death. This can be considered as an abortion for me, as an abortion. I should not die before my real death. I have to try what I can, right? And I do something plus to what I have today. Something that has to be something plus. I should not do for the sake of doing. I have to do for the sake of creating something which surprises or which can create new ideas for Ethiopians. This is what I think.
One recurrent issue in this initiated dialogue is the Constitution. You know, the Constitution is obviously the supreme law of any country. So this Constitution, many say, is highly contested in Ethiopia. Do you have any observations?
All right, yes. Yes, I have heard a lot about it, a lot of critics on it. It is not the word of the Almighty, you know. The Constitution has been created by Ethiopians. It carries the voices of Ethiopians. As Ethiopians, in one way or another, have voices in it. Yes. They also have all the rights to modify, to transform, to change. What's the riddle here? It is surprising. It has been created by human beings. So we can modify, because as time goes, things change. When things change, new understanding can come up. Yes. As a new understanding emerges, there will be a need to think something, to redesign. So it is, for me, it is not a riddle. It is something which can be carried out, which can be done. So, depending on the existing situation, depending on the results of healthy mentalities in quotations, healthy mentalities, we can talk about our Constitution in different ways. We can analyze the different aspects of it, because it is ours. We have created it, and we can recreate it, let alone the Constitution. Unless we human beings aspire for recreating ourselves daily, we remain there. We cannot add something that can transform us. So all the time, we have to be on the move in our lives. So we have to learn how to recreate ourselves in different ways. I'm not taking the position of the Almighty, right? God. What I'm saying is we have to work on our mindset, our within, and then we have to try to transform it. There is no one out there to transform us. Number one, transforming a body of ourselves is ourselves. So we have to work on what we have done. That's why. So what people raise is logical. We create it together, and we can recreate it together. We can modify it together.
Let's also talk about transitional justice. Some say that the most important part of transitional justice is public consultations. This refers to the creation of adequate platforms that solicit inputs from different groups, different segments of the society, including victim groups, on the draft law establishing the transitional justice. What is your take on that?
Well, as the name implies, it is like a bridge between where we were and where we want to be. Okay. Right? The transitional justice serves that purpose. That purpose. It mediates between the existing thinking and the aspired thinking. So we have there we prepare preconditions, conducive environment to move ourselves to a new context. That's why it is very relevant. That means it is like a machinery, like a device between our intention and our existing life. So it serves the new system, and it does not reject what we had in the past, but it makes a sort of balance. It is in between, and it takes with it some of the positive things from the past, and taking these positive things from the past, it integrates with the future. Of course, the future is now, because this world is dynamic world.
Thank you so much for your wonderful ideas.
Never mind.
Well, dear viewers, with that, we come to the end of today's program, and many thanks for your company so far. Until I see you next time with another program, it's goodbye from me, Shvaralak.